What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Trail Talk. Today we're talking about how to use Ride Command and the coolest ways that you might not even know about. Let's go. Yes! Welcome back to another episode of Trail Talk. You've got Evan, you've got Eric, right?
Hey.
You've got the outdoors. Also, 4,000 or 5,000 mosquitoes have been in or around this vehicle. If we are in a new location soon, it's because horrible things happen to Eric and myself. But we're talking about Ride Command and how to use it better. Maybe you think, hey, I know everything about Ride Command. There might be a new way to use it. So what is it? Well, come on in here, Eric. So some people think, Eric, that Ride Command is just simply the screen in the vehicle. But that is not true because the screen is just a screen. It's a piece of glass. Ride Command is what powers the screen, right? It's powered by it, or like, you know, integrated, however you want to say it. But it's not just in vehicles either. It is on phones. So if I open my phone, check out the map, boom, Ride Command on my phone. Ride Command on the vehicle. You can also get Ride Command on the World Wide Web, if you've heard of it. So very cool. The phone and the website Ride Command are absolutely totally free. There's no paid version, which is so cool. So you can do planning stuff on there. We're gonna get into it. And then Ride Command also, obviously, you know, it's not free on the machine. It's free to continue to use, but it comes on some machines, Eric. So we're gonna walk through all things Ride Command, why it's cool, and hey, you might even learn something that you did not know before, but I promise you want to stick around for this because if you think you're a pro, guess what? There's been 5 updates to Ride Command in the last year. So let's get into it. So the first thing about Ride Command that you may know, you may not know, is that the screen is totally configurable. So firstly, Eric, are you able to see this lovely screen?
Oh, yes.
So the screen, before we even talk about what's on it, it's currently in day mode. So if I touch the little Polaris button at the top, I have tons of options here, right? I have gauges, I have all the buttons, brightness, let's crank that puppy up. We've got notifications, tons of stuff here. But there is, check this out, night mode, which by the way is my favorite.
Yeah, I
looks sick. It is hard to see sometimes during the day in very dark forests, so
we're in a dark forest.
We're in a dark forest, so we have day on. Look at also though, there's auto, and then it's gonna tell you what to pick. So right now, auto is saying we want day mode. Awesome. This is kind of your main cluster that's available. So if you look at the bottom buttons here, there's a picture of a gauge, you have the land navigation maps, you have your phone connectivity, we'll talk about that. You have a shortcut button, music, and then volume, up and down on the right and left respectively. We're on the gauge cluster, and you can totally configure this however you want. Look at, if I press this button, boom, we have a different gauge. We can swap the top and the bottom. There's all these things you can pick. I like the kind of standard one. If you notice this, I can flip through different screens of information, which in the bottom settings corner, I can set literally anything I want. I can change the directional, the engine temp, look at all these extra options here, right? The battery voltage, I love having that out there. You can add different layouts of screens. So like, let's just keep adding different pages.
Okay.
So many different options. It kind of works in tandem too. So if I'm really like trying to focus on mapping, a lot of the, you know, your normal, you know, tachometer, odometer, speedometer, all the ometers. A lot of times you can keep that stuff here, you know, engine temp, your gear and stuff. And then over here, you can see different things. So it really comes down to, you know, play with whatever you want to play with, put your screens wherever you want, but it is totally customizable, and that's totally awesome. Okay, next thing. We're moving through these fast today, Eric. This is
I like it.
We're at a fast clip. Okay, planning and tracking is the next thing. You can use Ride Command. We're gonna skip to the map feature. Check that out. You can use Ride Command to plan and track your rides. So come back over here, Eric. There are 950,000 miles of trail in Ride Command that you can see anywhere. All different states, right? We are so close. We actually might be over 1 million, Eric. I'm not sure if I can quote that yet, but I can quote 950,000. And here's the cool thing about our trails. The way that we get our maps is from tons of different places. So it's ride clubs, different agencies, other mapping applications. So it's not like you need to go here for one thing, here for another thing. We actually work with all of the off-road organizations, if you will, to have them all in one spot. And by the way, they are not crowdsourced. So it's not just like, hey, someone rode here, go check it out. But they are actually, Eric, these are approved by the authorities.
Ooh, authoritative.
Who are the authorities?
They're important people.
They're important people. Yes. They're important people who can determine whether or not you're allowed to ride your vehicle. But it's very cool. So basically what you can do, if you go on your computer or your phone, you can go to a certain ride area. Let's see if it'll find me right here. Right now we're in the middle of our secret headquarters, so it's actually not going to show too many things because I haven't synced up from all our riding today. But what you can do is you can come on here. You can obviously find, see all these little ATV dudes?
Yeah.
Those are all the places that you can go ride. You have the Legend, you can find ATV, OHM, ROV, any type of thing you want. You can create a multi-stop route, right? You can set waypoints ahead of time. We're gonna talk about waypoints because those are very cool. But you can literally create the whole route on your computer and then download it if you're gonna use your phone, or download it to the actual right here in the vehicle, Eric. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that uses, you can use USB. The phone connects via Bluetooth. Also, one of the new updates is Wi-Fi. So literally, if you pull this into your garage, turn on the house Wi-Fi, which is actually always on, Eric.
It should be.
But you could turn on the vehicle to the Wi-Fi. You can literally do all your updates just like that. And then boom, on your screen, you have a pre-planned route that you can follow. And guess what? You can still hit offshoots, go explore new areas. If you look back in here, we've been riding in the secret playground. So if I pull up track 1, boom, and I back out, you can see we were riding today, right?
Yes.
You can also see some other dots. Those are the waypoints. But you can have a planned route ahead of time, and then you can deviate. You can do whatever you want. You can plan and track your rides online or offline because, Eric, this system works off of GPS. So if you're using the vehicle, it has GPS and knows exactly where you are. It's using satellites. You know, this isn't a science channel, Eric, but you can imagine there's science behind it.
All the tech, high-tech stuff.
And if you're using your phone, you can save routes offline. So you can have something saved. So if you were to not have this screen, you could still have it on your phone. It's not as nice, obviously, because this isn't like, it's kind of hard to mount a phone with that has enough strength for the off-road, but you can still check and see where you are. So planning and tracking, super cool. Next thing, Eric. The next thing is waypoints.
Okay.
Waypoints are actually one of the coolest things about tracking a ride. So let's zoom back in here. I'm actually gonna come really close in, and we're gonna see how well you can read this.
Okay, I can read that.
See this area where there's all this activity?
Yes.
This is us turning around in the parking lot. Can you read this actual waypoint?
What does it say?
Field lot.
Yes.
So, I pressed a thing. So basically, we are in, here we go. We are in a huge field, and this is the parking lot for that field. So I set a waypoint, which is kind of like almost the trailhead. I always recommend, if you have Ride Command, when you get to where you're riding, set a waypoint immediately for the trailhead so you know exactly where it is at all times if you need to get back. Then look at some of these other ones. This is the playground, Eric, right? So
okay.
Down here, rock crawls. We've done those, haven't we?
Yes.
Over this way, the teeter-totter, okay?
Yeah.
We've seen that before. All the way down here, these are the banked corners.
Okay, yeah.
So it's very cool. I mean, this is all, you know, obviously this is a demo, Eric. These could be trailheads, they could be major intersections, this could be cool overlooks, or if you want to tag in a ride park, like this is that one rock feature that we love hitting, or this is the downed tree that we always want to avoid, or whatever it might be. You can get crazy with waypoints. They're really easy to add. You just come here, boom, during a ride, stop, add waypoint. That easy. Also, I mean, if you're on hunting property, you can set your tree stand locations. in a fishing setup, like ice fishing, Eric.
Yeah, not on water.
Right. If you're ice fishing, not on water.
Hard water.
You can set up, like, you know, the honey holes?
Yeah, yeah.
You can set where those locations are and go straight back to them. Nice. If you're doing property maintenance, you can mark on a fence line where something needs to be fixed. It's just awesome what you can mark on here. There's endless options. You can mark anything you want. Guess what? Geocaching? I'm just kidding. Waypoints, super cool though. Mark everything you want. You can even save rendezvous. Very cool. Say you were to save a ride. So the topic we're talking about is sharing and connecting. Isn't that what everyone wants?
Yes.
Just to
It's how to live.
follow the rules and playtime will follow. So if you finish a ride, if you check out here, there's kind of the ride menu. Current ride, add a waypoint, rides and waypoints. This is where you can see all your past rides and waypoints. Group ride, if you finish a ride, you can download it straight to your phone via the Bluetooth. You also could upload this to your computer via Wi-Fi or USB, whatever you want to do. But you could then send that ride data straight off to a friend. And that probably sounds like, oh, big whoop-de-doo, like that'll be fun. It's not so much like, hey, check out what I just did. It's more like if you're interested in this trail, it will literally do a 3D flyover live of the trail, the terrain, the altitude on their screen or on their phone. Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Like if I was like, hey, Eric, I checked out the Rubicon, you should try it.
And maybe like send me the file.
Like send me the GPX, bro. I hate that I just said bro, so I'm sorry. But very cool, share and connect. The other thing, what I mean by connect is actually because you can connect your vehicle to your computer via Wi-Fi, you can actually track maintenance, updates, safety bulletins, anything that comes out for your vehicle, things that's needed. You can assign like accessories and different things to it so you know what's on certain vehicles. It's almost like a virtual garage. It's very cool. That might even be the name of it online, Eric. I'm not sure. Ride Command Garage, it's something like that. But it's totally cool. Go check it out for yourself. Group ride is the best, possibly the coolest thing ever about Ride Command. Literally, it's like you're playing a video game almost, in the sense that you can see where other people are. So like, see on the screen here, do you see? So we're this blue arrow.
Yes.
We're near this waypoint that I just set because we were talking about setting waypoints. And then check out this. This is a gray X. Oop, it keeps wanting to track to me, but it says Terry.
Terry.
Terry, right?
Yes.
This is another vehicle nearby us.
Okay.
The gray X means either they lost connection, which isn't the case here because we know they have connection, but the vehicle's turned off.
Got it.
So what Group Ride allows you to do, imagine like 6 other Terrys on here, and you can nickname them all, whatever. Basically, you can have all of your friends in your ride group on one screen, and it's just simply the way, Eric. And guess what? You don't even need to have the actual Ride Command in your vehicle. You can do it on your phone, which once again, it's free, right?
Free.
It's free on your phone. So literally your friends, if they have a different, a competitive vehicle, whatever it might be, another company's vehicle, they can still have this on here, and you can all have like, in Mario Kart when you can see all your friends?
Yeah.
Like on the map? Sure. It's literally like that. But it's awesome because you can ride at your own speed, stay out of the dust, and still know where people are going, right? It really helps to just, if someone takes a wrong turn, you can literally see them on the map. Like I could watch Terry driving off to the east, right, and we could get on the radio or whatever, or turn around before it's all lost. It just simply is the way. If you haven't ridden with Group Ride, is it just the coolest thing, Eric?
Out. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
You can't go back once you have it.
You cannot go back, yeah. Get your friends, if they haven't tried it, on the phone, get everybody hooked up. You can even, if they actually have the vehicle screen, you can send Group Ride text messages, Eric.
Yeah, it's sick.
Like they're not an actual text because it's all GPS, but it's using something called vehicle-to-vehicle communications. All of our brand new vehicles from 20 and on have that. But check it out here. Should we get Terry inbound?
Yeah, call Terry out.
Hey, Terry! All right, now watch here, watch. We're watching the screen. Oh, here's Terry. Look at. So you see Terry up here?
Yep. Terry
is on screen. We see a razor.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Over there to
Look at back here. Terry is alive.
Terry's there. We found Terry.
So there you guys go. That group ride is so cool. Imagine, again, 6 Terrys, full Mario Kart Grand Prix mode. The coolest thing ever. Hook everybody up on a group ride. It is seriously is so cool. You're gonna love it. Bluetoothing your phone and listening to music, okay? So if you come on down here, the third button in, if we click, is phone connection.
Sure.
I have already connected my iPhone. Very easy, Evan's iPhone. You can add other devices, however many you want. But literally, my phone is now on the vehicle. This is how it's like kind of like Apple CarPlay, right? I'm not making any claims, so easy. But check it out. I have well, actually, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Contacts. But my phone is in the vehicle.
Your personal data.
It's so cool.
It's in there.
And it like, if someone calls you, you can see that stuff come up. Obviously, you want to pay all the attention to all the rules of the road, use the owner's manual, all that stuff. It's not like you're on the phone while you're driving. But if you stop, you can access your phone out here, which is so cool. Literally, it's crazy to be able to get a call on a Razor or on a General, right? It's the craziest thing. Okay, music though, we totally can play this, or not play this, but look, what song is this? Listen,
Polaris.
Pro tip, if you haven't listened to Polaris by Deadmau5, can we play 10 seconds?
I think so.
Rockford Fosgate, right?
Yes, I got
You
it.
seeing that?
Yep.
You wouldn't even know there's music in here, but music in our vehicles, it works with tons of different audio, obviously, but this is like almost kind of the head unit, if you will. Again, this is playing Polaris on here, off my phone, on the screen in the vehicle. So crazy. You can skip, you can, look at, here's all the sources, right? You actually have, if you have the antenna set up, FM, AM radio, a weather radio. You can hook up a USB, an iPod, right? If you are the type of person who saves things on a USB, and you just get that one ride playlist that you save forever. But super cool. I always use Bluetooth and I just run my phone. This is one of the updates though. Auto speed control. So on this vehicle, remember I talked about the volume down here?
Yeah.
We have the volume up, the volume down. Those are on the screen itself. On some vehicles, like a Razor Pro XP, which is, Eric, it's so cool.
Yes.
There's volume on the steering wheel like you would be used to in your truck or whatever, right? All of the controls are on the steering wheel. Otherwise, guess what? It doesn't even matter anymore because there's auto speed control. So if I'm right now just sitting, jamming away, I don't need the music crazy loud. Or maybe I do. You don't know. You never know what
Whatever
the vibe
kind of
is.
mood you're in.
But if I actually start driving and speed up or slow down while I'm driving, the vehicle knows how fast it's going and changes the volume for you. So you don't have to take your hands off the wheel. You can literally just drive, jam, and shred. What more do we really need?
Pretty easy in here with all that stuff.
Other than more bug spray.
We need some more of that for sure.
We are getting killed. Okay, but honestly, audio in here, coolest thing ever. Speakers integrated. Next thing is cameras, Eric. We've talked about these in a few other videos. Top modifications, we talked about the rear view mirror, but what's even better than a rear view mirror? A rear facing camera. So if I just simply put the vehicle in reverse, be attentive to your surroundings, stay right there. Stay right there. Okay? So cameras, absolutely coolest thing, but also check this out. So there's also an up arrow here. That is the front of the vehicle.
Ah, nice.
So now obviously we're in reverse. That doesn't make any sense. So let's get out of reverse for a second. What's cool about this is you can have these cameras on when you're not in reverse only. So that, you know, obviously. So if I hit this top button here, come back and watch.
Okay.
So top button, here's where I can access cameras. And now while I'm driving, I could still keep the rear camera on. And I could see, similar to a rear view mirror, if someone was behind me. I could watch for the headlights if I was a hater and didn't have group ride on and I couldn't see the people behind me, you could still watch and see. Or if you had a trailer, right? If you were pulling a trailer behind you, you could literally see, is the load, you know, wobbly. But you can watch the load in the trailer, whatever it might be. Also in front, come back on down here. So this is really cool because obviously you're not gonna watch this while you're driving, like, you're not driving through the screen. Right. But if you're cresting a hill, this is seen lower than we can see in the vehicle. Or if you're on a rock crawl, this is seen a little bit more than you can see from up here in the vehicle. Sure. So it's really helpful if you need to see different things, and really for anything, if you're pulling up to something, all that type of stuff. I know people who love looking down dunes before they can fully see over. Coolest thing ever. I wonder what would happen if you turned it on in a mud pit. That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. See like the mud creatures.
Can you see like if you winch things like a plow?
Yeah. Yep. Yes. You can see a winch down here. There's plowing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. I got to try that the next time I plow. So many different uses. The cameras are awesome. Listen, if you haven't bought a Ride Command already in this video, just consider it. Last thing, because we're in a general today, Eric, there are some things. This is kind of like the YouTube vehicle. Like this is I hope you guys are liking seeing this here, because we'll talk about this more eventually, the build and everything, but we don't have a Ranger and we don't have a Razor literally in this Ride Command video. There are two very cool things about it though. If you have actually a Ranger, there's something called Plow Mode, and it's not here, so I can't show you, but literally you can, via the Ride Command, you have to have it in the vehicle. You can connect it to the winch. You don't even connect it. It's just automatically connected. And if you put the vehicle into plow mode and you're plowing, if you reverse as you would from a pile of snow that you just plowed, it automatically lifts the plow for you to the proper amount via the winch. You then put it in drive to go forward and push the snow. It automatically deploys the winch the winch and therefore the plow blade. So you
don't have to touch any winch buttons.
You don't do anything except hold the wheel and hold the shifter. It's so cool. There's no monkeying around with the winch, right? I know it's super easy still, but like it is so cool when if you're plowing a big lot or something like that. You got to check that out. And then over here, this is my demo steering wheel because we don't have a Razor Pro XP here. But like I said earlier, the volume buttons, there's buttons on the steering wheel just like there would be, like you'd be used to. Volume is on here. There's shortcut buttons that you can code for whatever action you want. So if you're like, I like using the map, I like using the whatever, very cool. Also on the right side, Eric, is dynamics. If your vehicle has dynamics, which we probably need to do a video on at some point, you can select the modes right there on the wheel while you're blazing, right? I'm betting that not a single person knew all of the info in this exact video. Why? Because I did not know all of the info in this video. And then I talked to some of the people and they were like, yo, you gotta check out these new updates. Like auto volume control we were using today is so cool. It's literally so seamless. That is why Ride Command is so cool. Try it out for yourself. If you don't have it in your vehicle, try it on your phone. You can make it almost as cool. It's not as cool, but it's still very cool. Once again though, all this stuff, though it is cool, it's not cool, Eric, when what?
When you're not out riding.
When you're not riding, it's not cool. So please go ride, and maybe we'll actually see you on the trail sometime. Thank you guys and girls for joining today. We will see you next week. See ya.